On Friday nights.
Fumble a bag, now I when I fumble a bag. Fumble a bag, now I when I fumble a bag. Act like you know how this goes.
Your hosts for the evening: Molle Dorst, Jim Beard, and Lefty the Video Jedi.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to another Friday Night Live where we talk about all things about breaking through the noise to get your message, your mission, and your movement out to the world in a meaningful way. Today, we are doing a little bit of a special episode. Obviously, Molly's not here with us today.
Sad.
It is sad. She's not feeling too good, so we're going to give her that time to heal up and do what she's got to do. But in the meantime, we've got some amazing news to talk about. And my main man, Lefty, here is pivoting. I want to talk about why you're pivoting and what it looks like to pivot, because there's a lot of people out there that are like, I'm on a path that I'm not happy with.
Mm-hmm.
What does it look like to pivot? Because it can be a lot. It can be a heavy move. So I want to get into that with you. And I also want to talk about, like, where are you going next? What's next for Lefty? And I think that our audience can gain a lot from this, because Lefty has been on a particular path for quite some time.
Yeah.
And recently he's had some opportunities that have led him to make this pivot. And I'm sure a lot of you out there can feel that. Like, I feel like I'm on the wrong path. Can I pivot even though I'm known for something else? I think Lefty's here to have an opinion on that. So Lefty,
Yes, sir.
tonight we're doing this interview style. You are the interviewee, sir.
Let's
and
do it.
We have some other stuff we want to talk about after this, about the Oliver Anthony song that has been released called Men from Richmond, and how that has impacted the world. But tonight we want to talk about authenticity. And Lefty also released a video recently talking about this big move of his. So Lefty, let's get into it, man. What brought you to, obviously, the YouTube video you released today?
Yeah. So first and foremost, and this might sound strange to some. They might say, like, "Oh, this guy's full of shit," or whatever he wants to say. But there are certain things that there's certain things that I say and that I have said, which has made me feel and led me to believe that when I do say these things, nobody listens to me. And the worst thing that can happen when you're trying to get a message, a movement, and all that across is have nobody listen to you. I'll give you an example, because I know you've heard me say this, because I came from the short form world. I actually built my business because of short form content. That's how people got to know me. It didn't mean that I didn't know how to do anything else, but that's just kind of what attracted me. And
Sure.
it was a very, 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 very short period of time that I realized short form content was taking a massive plunge.
Sure.
And it's difficult to sit there and tell other business owners and even like friends that I have in the industry, try and shift them in a direction because you see something coming, and then they're just like, "Nah, man, you're crazy. Short form's this, short form's the best, short form's that." And then only to figure out 7-8 months later, there's articles posting that, like, short form's dying, long form's dead. And it's like, when you have to feel like you're in a constant battle to try and better somebody for their business, and nobody wants to listen to you, that number one was kind of the turning point. And I didn't know how much longer I can go that route. So the one thing I mentioned in my videos is that I pivoted to something that I still knew very well, because I was making those type of, like, high, fast-paced energy, like B-roll type videos on my older YouTube channel, which God rest its soul, because I lost it, and all the content with it. But one thing that I was very comfortable with was making promotional advertising. So video sales letters, obviously, I didn't know them to the very best that I knew them at the time. Jim, you helped me a bit with that. You gave me all these other things to watch and listen out for and whatnot. And I ended up doing a bit of my own research, got excited by everything. But then I ended up realizing that the more VSLs I did, the smaller my role started to become.
Interesting.
Like I wasn't the creative director. I was just the guy making a video for you. And I felt like bottom of the barrel. Like, you're just the guy that films my video for me. You're just the guy that, puts the words on paper and makes it sound kind of pretty. Right. Revision after revisions after revisions. And it just felt like my creative control got super thin, almost wearing out. I felt like my role was like a super small role, and that's not why I got into this business to begin with. So I was selling VSLs for probably just over a year, maybe a year. And then I get an opportunity to work with this amazing entrepreneur. Her name is Rebecca Wilcox. And we started talking about filming and documenting her story. Right. And I said, everybody has a promotional video, but I think this is going to help you stand out even more, because you're going to let your current audience and your brand new audience get a better understanding of who you are, and maybe get to know Rebecca a little better. Right.
Sure.
So we got into filming her video, which was like a huge success. It was, I think it was only like a 8-minute video. Like, it wasn't that long. Let's call it like a mini documentary. But being in Arkansas at the time and just filming everything and going out and capturing the B-roll and directing and spending not one day with her, but 2 days with her, where I was filming action shots one day, I was filming the script the other day. It really started to bring back the filmmaker in me. It like revived that initial emotion and feeling that I had inside me, where I was like, oh my God, yes, this is why I do what I do, because I absolutely love filmmaking. I'm not really a video marketer. I am a filmmaker. And it's great that I had the opportunities to get in the coaching space, because now the coaches that did see me for one thing and did want to grab me for something are going to now want to come at me for something that I would consider up branding, right? And then shortly after that, it was on this exact show, Friday Night Live, where we just happened to have Robert J. Moore in the audience. And
shout out to Robert, of course.
Hell yeah. And to be honest with you, I don't even remember how the conversation started. I don't remember if I reached out to him or if he reached out to me. I really don't even know. But literally shortly after that, I ended up working for 2.5 straight months with Robert. And we've just been literally kicking ass for 60 to 90 days, getting this massive documentary. And it's my first feature length film, because I've never done a documentary that's 90 minutes before. So I've done shorter ones that are 15 minutes, 30 minutes, bring in a couple VSLs, bring in another documentary like I mentioned about Rebecca's, which was 6-7 minutes. So now I'm working with a 90-minute production, and this is really, really, really cool. Now, one thing that Robert mentioned to me that really, really, really stuck out was if you wait for your audience to meet you where you are, they're never going to get there. You always have to be the stepping stone. You always have to be the leader with the shaft in the front and guiding them like you're a shepherd and they're the sheep, right? Because if you wait for your followers or your audience to get to your level, he claims that majority of the time it just never happens. So, and that's the kind of fallback that people kind of sit in sometimes. So I brought that into perspective, and then immediately I was like, you know what? I want to see what happens if I just change my tune a little bit. I want to see what happens if I start putting out content that I actually like putting out. Like, for a second, politely, screw all of you. Let's focus on Lefty for a second.
I get it though. Yeah, it's all
you know what I mean? Like that's kind of the mentality that I had. It's like, forget what the hell they want. Let's see. Let's try shifting the narrative and just put out what I want to put out, and let's see how they respond. And I swear, my engagement increased, my comments increased, my likes increased, my shares increased, people sending me messages increased. Like, this video alone, I have never gotten so many DMs before in my life of people just like sharing everything to do with like what I said and what I did and what I had to say. And then another thing that subconsciously happened while working with Robert, and okay, mind you, I get it. Robert is like an elite entrepreneur. He's a high up guy, and you know, he's somebody that takes charge of his success. And that's what made me start to think that I am not responsible for your success.
Mm-hmm.
I am a tool in your toolbox that guides you to your success. But when people come to me and they think my video is going to be the holy grail, they think that the video that I create for them is going to be the one that puts all the money on the table for them. I'm sorry, but that's a very, very sad lie. Like, you are the one that's in control of that video's success, not the other way around. And when people, I felt that there were times where I either wasn't closing deals because people were pointing fingers, right? Oh, you don't have the ROIs. Oh, you don't have this. Oh, you don't have that. Why the F is it my problem to do the ROIs? Like, am I on your sales team? Did I just get like an appointment position that I wasn't aware of? That you know, so I started to realize like I'm not going to be responsible for other people's success. I will guide them to giving them the right tools and assets to be successful, but I don't want that finger pointed at me anymore. So that's where the shift happened. And then Tuan, oh man, you know, first of all, congratulations. I believe he's getting married in a couple days.
Yeah.
But he got a fresh new haircut today too. But yeah, you know, and again, in February of this year, Tuan, I actually presented Tuan an opportunity, and it was I said to him, I go, look, I've heard your story time and time again. I want to film it, but I want to make an adaptation out of it. So if people don't, for those that might not know what an adaptation is, it's taking a moment in somebody's life and recreating it the way I would see it, right? While still sticking to like facts and truths as much as possible. So, for example, we are doing a scene. We are doing a moment in his life where it happened to be his final arrest. So where the adaptation comes from is we played both sides. We played his side, but we also played the parts of the police officers in charge of this investigation. So obviously, how would he know the conversations that they would have had? So that's where the adaptation part comes on, where we get to create scenes and out of nothing to fill gaps. So, and the funny thing was he asked me questions like, well, what's the ROI? What are we going to do with it? What's this? What's that? And I was like, bud, I have no clue, but we'll figure it out. And I will guarantee you that it'll at least put you on a different playing field, because you're going to have something that nobody else has. You want to know the only coach that I personally know of that has something like this? Jordan Belford, because I don't know any other coach that has a film like The Wolf of Wall Street. And that's when the light bulb struck for Tuan. And he was like, okay, he saw the difference maker, and he forgot completely about what the ROI would have been. And he realized this is something that could upbrand me and put me on a different level that will help me get more clients or whatever the case might be, and have people see me in a different light. Right.
And for those of you that don't know Tuan's story, it's incredible to start with. It is absolutely incredible. Tuan I've known for a very long time now, since me coming on the scene. Essentially, I got to know him at that point, and he is an amazing person. And but he's been able to create a massive business with his business partner Corey, and his story is incredible. So if you get a chance, please do check it out. It's really, really good.
And you know, I want to give a shout out to, of course, all the actors and everybody that was involved in the film. I want to give a big shout out to my boy Chris Valencia, yes, like the Instagram filter, who actually played Tuan in the film. He did a fantastic job, and I'm just so thrilled with everybody's performance. So let's get back to the whole shift and the pivot here, and why I'm doing these types of adaptations and documentaries. First and foremost, I got into this industry because I wanted to be a filmmaker. I wanted to make movies. Plain and simple, black and white. Like, that was it. I didn't care for short form content. I didn't care for all these other things. Video sales letters and this and that and whatever, which I do mention in my video that I'm not discrediting the video sales letter. Like,
oh no, you're good. It's all good.
Yeah, no, but for those who haven't seen it, I'm gonna say it here. So they're very, very powerful, and you need one. Period. You need one. But I just realized that I needed to go back to my roots. I needed to go back to what made me happy, and there was a lot of times where, I don't know, things were not making me very happy with how they were going. And to bring something to light right now, I'm personally right now going through like a pretty tragic family incident. And it also got me to realize that the person that we're having this tragic moment with, I don't know if anybody has ever filmed or recorded his story or his coming, how he came to be the person that he was. And I don't want to really think this way, but there could be a possibility that I might not get that opportunity. And I really, but I'm, we're all praying that I do get that opportunity. Mm-hmm. And I just started to also think, because I hired, I didn't hire, but I got hired by another coach that was brought to me, and she kind of deals with this kind of stuff. She deals with helping people prepare for this kind of thing. And it was funny because during my conversation with her, we were on Zoom, and I said, oh yeah, so like putting this script together, what's your target audience? It's like probably what, like 55 to 75? She's like, no, 30 to 40. And I was like, wait, what? It didn't like click in at first. And she goes, yes, I have clients that are in and around that age too, but no, I tackle 30 and 40-year-olds. And I go, huh, interesting. Why? And she goes, because we can die tomorrow and you wouldn't be prepared. And I literally sat back and I was like, that just added to my calling of how important you need to tell your story, and you need to do it in a way that's going to resonate with your audience. And you need to not just think of it as something that's on the sidelines that you can, pick up your iPhone one day and just start shooting. I now have like sworn for it to be my mission to film as many stories as I possibly can and shine light to the amazing people in this world. And it's come to a point where it's like, I don't even care if you're just a coach anymore. Like, if you're in e-commerce, if you're just a regular mom, if you're a single father, if you're a bum on the street, I honestly don't care anymore, because it's fine. You have materialistic things, and great. There are people that are going to be able to leave some money, a car, a house, or anything like that as inheritance. But what's the first thing that people run to? It's not the house. It's not the car. It's not the money. It's a voicemail. It's a picture. It's something that's tangible that they can hold on to remember that person. So when you guys are thinking now about your brands and your legacy stories, stop thinking about them in just ROI, because it's more than money.
Mm-hmm.
It's way more than money. Forget the money. The money is just the awesome thing that potentially comes with it. But if you never saw a dime from that video, know that you're investing in something that's going to give you timeless ROI, and for the right reasons. And that's another reason why I've shifted and pivoted my entire business, because I've just been hit with things that actually matter.
Some killer perspective. And Robert obviously here is joining us, and Craig, thank you for watching. Stephanie, Q out there watching, we appreciate you guys being here with us. And he said observing your transformation was quite impressive, especially during the time in the jails.
My first time being in a prison.
And hopefully last time.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
man, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
We talk about how important authenticity is, and I hope you guys feel that, that this is a decision that he's going through, and that he's had to make it out of this transformational moment in his life. And I think that's absolutely incredible. And, we're going to be talking here shortly about Oliver Anthony and his video that has been released, and how authenticity. I mean, this guy, Oliver Anthony, he only had like 10 videos total to his name on his YouTube channel. I think it was just his family that even knew he existed. And within a week, 15 million people have resonated with his message that I'm aware of. It could even be more than that. But because he was authentic, he was just himself. He's out in his backyard and he's just making a song. And in much the same way, you released a video today, just kind of bearing your heart about, like, this is what I'm going through. And this is the decision I've made that I think is the best thing for me and what is important to me.
Yeah.
And I think that's incredible. And that's a message that I hope is going to resonate with a lot of people. And I feel like it will resonate with a lot of people because you were authentic. It was just you bearing it all out there. And I think that there's so much value to that. And Robert, Obviously, that's awesome, man. Very proud of you. That's great. Robert is fantastic, and obviously, you talk about what that meant to you. That he took that opportunity with you to do that movie, and now you guys are nominated for all these awards, which is absolutely just wonderful.
Yeah,
Fantastic, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been wild.
Yeah.
It's been wild.
So speaking in the vein of authenticity, we told you we talk about Oliver Anthony here, so we're going to go ahead and pull that up.
Yeah, are we going to play this video because I've never seen it.
A little part of it. So I'm going to encourage you guys to check out the rest because Facebook does not play nice with copywritten songs. They don't like it. So we're going to play as nicely as we can here. Here we go. So I'll give you a little bit of it, but this song has taken the internet by storm because of sheer authenticity.
Can anybody hear it? Because I can't hear it. Uh-oh, I can't hear you now. What's going on?
You can't hear me?
Oh, there you go.
Maybe that was it. Okay, hold on. I muted myself because I wanted to make sure that it was just the song. But here, I'll just do it this way. Here you go, guys. Sorry about that. Let's try that again.
Uh-oh. Still no sound? Apparently we are having audio.
Still can't hear it, huh? All right. Never mind, just low. Okay. That we can handle. But the point of this is this guy goes out in his properties. This is his backyard. Okay. This is where he lives. Set up just a normal mic. There's nothing special about this microphone. Grabbed a guitar and made this song and just bared his soul out to the world about how he was feeling about the current state of the world. Now, whether you agree with it or not, and there's a lot of people trying to put like politics on it, and he's been very clear that it's not political. That it's just his feeling in that moment that he just bared his soul, like, and that's just how he felt. And you can feel it. You can feel it. It's so authentic. Like there's no way someone wrote this song for him. These are his words. And he went from nobody knowing he existed on this planet, or then maybe family and friends on his YouTube channel, to millions of people knowing him in just a week's time. So now, am I saying this is going to happen for you when you make your videos? No, I'm. There's no guarantee. This is a 1 in a million shot that this will happen.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is authenticity matters. It matters so much, and we get to be so afraid of I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm not successful enough, I haven't made enough, I've made too much, even in some cases. I've waited too long, or whatever. We throw all these roadblocks in front of us that prevent us from making content, when in reality, the world wants you.
That's it.
They buy you before they ever buy a product or a service. It's about you. And you may think, no one wants to hear from me because of XYZ. But that's the very reason that people want to hear from you. It's because of those things that make you uniquely you.
Eh,
And let this guy be, and Lefty's video today, by the way, be proof to you that authenticity matters. All these people connected with him because of the content, not because of how he looked, spoke, how much money he had, exposure he had. He had no audience, he had no anything. He had a shitty job that he was done with, and he made a song about it. And he just set it up and let it rip. And now it has taken the internet by storm.
Yeah.
So when you say to yourself, all that crap, all that head trash, remember that. 41 million views, Robert says. Yes. So I was way under, way under.
Wow.
And mind you, this is a week time.
Wow.
And you're going to tell me that this guy can do it, but you can't. Because of whatever crap you have in the way that you put false roadblocks between you and creating content. It's like, in my eyes, we talk about this numerous times. You had the cure for cancer and no one knows about it. Does it matter?
No,
I argue no.
it doesn't.
You might as well not even have done it.
Yep.
You have to let the world know that you can take their pain away, that you can help them make their life easier. We go away from pain and towards pleasure. Which one are you going to help with?
I'll give a little tip, because it's going to be one of my I'm ahead of my time type tips, and I
Okay.
want to see how many of you actually take the advice that I'm about to give. Nobody listened to me about the short form content until it got to a point where it just became a glorified portfolio. And then that's when you started going, oh, maybe I should go on YouTube because I'm actually going to get money. Like, don't be that person. I'm going to give you guys a head of the game tip right now. You're either going to listen to it or you're going to think that I'm crazy. And I hope that I'm not crazy in your eyes. We went from us versus the algorithm, and it was a matter of us keeping up with content, which, in my opinion, was just a big lie. It was shiny object syndrome in the form of content. Oh, you have 10 videos a week? Well, I do 30 videos a week. Well, I do 50 videos a week. And it meant nothing. It literally meant nothing. Now, here's ahead of the game. We went from us versus the algorithm to, well, we're about to step into the era of us versus artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't start playing the authenticity game right now, you're going to lose. You are going to lose the most uphill battle you have ever had to fight. Because when we get to a point where we cannot tell fake from real, it's not going to, the only differentiator at that point ain't going to be your offer, ain't going to be your content or anything like that. It's going to be how authentic you are, how real you are, how much of a person you are. We are already experiencing lack of human touch, lack of human authenticity, and there's no stopping this AI locomotive that's flying by us at like 500 miles per hour or more. So take this tip for what it's worth. This is the time to really be you and showcase who you are without the aid of tools such as ChatGPT and creating images on Midjourney, or using whatever that video one is now. get away from that and be
Yeah.
you. Be you. Do what I did today in the middle of in the most prime moment of my career, where everybody knew me for one thing. I just said screw it.
Nope.
I literally just said screw it because I don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like me. I didn't like anything about it. So I changed. And yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough at first. I had to speak to my development team to switch all the verbiage on my landing page. I had to remove sections of my landing page that spoke nothing of VSLs and only VSLs. I had to in a matter of an evening script, film, edit a brand new VSL that can go up at midnight so I can have something brand new to start pushing to people in the morning. I did it all in like 4 days. You would think that the old Lefty never existed. That's how fast I just closed the curtain and opened it again. But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I was in a position where I did it all by myself. Like I had one bit of help, which was the only people that are in charge of my landing page. You could be in a position where you probably make double of what I make, 5 times of what I make, 10 times of what I make, 100 times of what I make. It doesn't matter. You can do it at any stage of the game. And it probably is easier if you have a larger team to do it. I didn't have that large team, but it doesn't mean that it's not possible. Just be unapologetically you and do things that you love. Don't get sucked into something because everybody's doing it. I kind of had that moment. I kind of had that, oh, everybody's doing it when I started out. And it just kept sucking me into something and sucking me into something and sucking me into something. And
I
then,
think everyone can relate to that, right? Like,
yeah,
shiny object syndrome. It's always grass is greener on the other side.
That's it. And then,
No matter where you're at. So it's like you're just chasing after, I hear from Todd that this is working. Let's go try
yeah,
that. It's like, well, you didn't put your all into the last thing because you weren't passionate about it or because you're just chasing the dollar. If you're actually going after something that's mission based and like passion based, then it's easier to get through those long nights, the nights to where you're grinding and you're putting in all the hours that you can possibly muster until you drop, because it's not a 9 to 5. It's get it done.
yeah, yeah. And it's something that I mentioned in my video too about like VSLs were only the thing that helped me get to the actual thing. So I mean, it doesn't mean that, you're doing something that you might not like doing, or maybe you think you like doing it, right? But it doesn't mean that you can't use a specific offer to get you to where you want to be, right?
Absolutely.
We do things all the time. We do things to get us to our first 4-figure paycheck, but then it happens that we get our 5-figure paycheck. Then it happens that we get multiple 5-figure paychecks. So there's always things that we do to get us to the next thing. And for me, VSLs were the thing to get me to the next thing, which is documentary filmmaking. And then I did what I did with Rebecca, and then Robert was very generously and politely there, extending his hand, going, "Hey, bud, let me help you here." and then yeah, we honestly, just like I said,
And I think you will be very hard pressed to find someone who's very successful in the business they're in that started out doing that thing.
probably,
Very hard pressed.
yeah,
Because you have to go through that journey to find the thing that's going to be your thing. And even that thing may not even be your final thing. There is no such thing as final. It's always growing. It's always changing. And you have to allow yourself to make those adjustments. Now, do you bail and just like completely redo? No, you're rebuilding. You're building something on a foundation that you've already gained.
Right.
You know, if you just all of a sudden became a plumber, I'd be like, dude, are you okay?
I probably have the crack for it. No,
but like, you know, you're building upon what has already come before.
right.
It's growth. It's not like bag it and start over, burn it down. It's a foundation, right?
Yeah. Hey, we're getting some pretty cool comments. Like I was in zoology, for 14 years and completely restarted.
That's amazing. Awesome. That is amazing, Stephanie. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that is.
And
awesome.
I mean, I can't imagine what that felt like for you. You know, I would love to hear in the comments, like, what was that like for you? What was that journey like? And would you go back? Would you change it? I'd be willing to bet. Willing to bet. The answer is no. That there's experiences gained over this journey that you are appreciative of. You know?
Yeah.
It's tremendous. So, like I said, I'm just so happy for you. And I felt that video. I felt it. When you put out that YouTube video, I felt that video. I was there with you. I was sitting in that room with you, and I felt it. Much in the same way as Oliver Anthony's song has touched the world, and we all felt this song. If you haven't heard this song, go out and listen to it immediately.
I'm playing
because
it
it's going to literally speak to your soul. No matter what you believe in this world, it has become the blue collar anthem. Even if you don't work in blue collar, like you just feel this man pouring his heart out because it's real.
Yeah.
In a world of ChatGPT, robots, and AIs, he came out and he just popped up a mic in his yard and had a video camera on himself and just ripped a song that's now making its way around the world several times over. It's incredible. But this is what is possible with authenticity.
Yeah.
Because if he had told himself, he's a bigger guy, I'm a bigger guy, I'm too big for this, I'm too pale, I'm too red, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm not in a professional studio setting, this hasn't been produced, this needs to be mastered, and so on, etc., this song had never come out.
No.
And what an injustice to the world that would have been had he put those roadblocks in his way.
Oh, yeah.
How many millions of lives that are now impacted in a positive way would not have been? You know, people in the comments are like, dude, this is giving me hope again. Like, I cried when I watched this. He's making people emotional. I would not change a thing. Robert says, I would not change a thing of my past, and it was messed up, but it made me the person I am today. Exactly. And thank you for that, Robert. I really appreciate that. And Craig, who owns his own business as well, a fantastic business, said, I'm going to listen to that after this. I hope you do. It's incredible, man.
I definitely am.
Really, it hits the heart in such a direct and heavy way. And all of his songs, by the way, he has other songs that he has top three songs right now on the top iTunes charts. I think it's 3. Wow. In a week.
That's crazy.
In a week, because of how starved we are for authenticity.
I feel like a lot of people don't even know how to be real anymore. I feel like
getting intense, man, because a lot of people are like, this is going to save me time. I don't want to do it, so I'm just going to let robots do it. And it's cool. Like, I got nothing against it. I use ChatGPT almost regularly. But it's a tool, not a solution.
Yep, exactly. Tool, not a solution. But I'm curious.
Tool, not a solution.
I'm curious. What was... Because this is going to be live feedback right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
What was going on through your head when you popped open that video and it just started? Like, what, like, from that first
your video?
Slide? Yeah.
I was like, man, he's in it. Like, you're in it. Like, it felt like you had an emotion and you made a video. much in the same way that Oliver Anthony's video impacted me. It felt like he had an emotion and he turned on the camera and it was just real and raw. And I respected the hell out of it.
Cool. Thank you for that.
And it wasn't calculated, in my eyes, it wasn't calculated, scripted. It wasn't pre-thought, polished. Anything. It was just, this is real, really how I'm feeling right now. And I want to share this with you. And whether or not you agree with it is on you.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to get this out.
Yeah.
That's the way it felt to me.
With my dirty cuts. That word.
But see, it's still there, right?
Yeah.
That's that head trash crap, man.
Mm-hmm.
No one cared about that.
No
one cares about that.
No one.
It's all about what you had to say, and that you
Yeah.
said it with compassion, empathy, and just authenticity. And I felt that.
Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot. Like I normally do like 3 to 5 minute videos. So the fact that this was like 12 minutes, and like when I was cutting it up, like I was getting emotional when I was cutting it up, because I was like,
Yeah.
damn, like my thing was trying to get my message across, like as much as possible without having someone needing to sit there and listen to me for like half an hour. Now, mind you, if the video ended up being half an hour, are there a select few people that probably would have sat through 30 minutes? 100%. But I always, like, I'm an efficient shooter, regardless if I'm telling a real story, a fake story, sharing a feeling like I did, or whatever. No matter what the situation is, I'm always an efficient shooter. So I always do my very best to say, how can I get my point across in the time that I need to get my point across without making this just drag on forever? And I touched a lot. I touched on how my, like, how I was feeling about the role that was essentially given to me. I don't even think I gave myself that role. I talked about my parting ways with video sales letters after Funnel Hacking Live. So if you guys don't know and you don't have a chance to watch that video, from now until Funnel Hacking Live is the last time you can get a VSL from me. So after that, it's just gone. No more. Like, see you later. Not something that I will be doing moving forward. Unless you pay me a lot of money. No, I'm kidding. Joking. No, it's honestly not something that I want to move forward with. And then, yeah, talked about like lies in the industry, how others have made me feel in a positive and a negative light, and then I just talked about what I feel the real meaning of being authentic is. That's,
I love it, man.
yeah.
And if you guys get a chance, I definitely encourage you to check it out, because it's a great example of just being authentic and what that can mean to the viewer. And that it's just like when you see something real, you feel it. And man, I felt it.
Thanks.
Same thing I did with Oliver Anthony. I felt it. I've just coming from the heart. And you can tell, we can smell it a million miles away, because we're berated and bombarded with nothing but polished, scripted, super prim, proper content that has very little heart to it. Now, mind you, there's a ton of heart-centered entrepreneurs. Not all of them make content. So it's a cross-section of a lot of different things that goes into this. But when we see something real, man, do we feel it. Man, do we feel it.
I think Craig wants me to link the video.
Please do.
I don't think I can. I don't have an option to send the video in the chat.
Just send it to me.
Okay, one moment.
I'm putting up the Oliver Anthony one in the Facebook group, and then I'll put up the one that he's mentioning as well. There's the Oliver Anthony one to everybody. And then I'm just going to wait on him to give me over the link to his.
Yeah. Oh my God. Come on, pause.
The pressure's on.
I know. Like I'm having.
I got a timer on.
Uh-oh. Do you actually?
No. But I do now.
My YouTube just doesn't want to load. Okay, here it is. You can't do that. There it is. Okay, you can't do that to me with this old timer stuff.
Oh, I can, and I did. It's done.
Timer's done.
Yeah. Sorry, bud.
It was
Sorry,
a race
bud.
to beat the clock.
It's over. It's over. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Too bad. You're 30 seconds too late. You can't send the link.
Sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. Lefty story.
Thanks,
Hey,
Greg.
buddy. Check it out.
Damn, it really sucks living in a country, man. I live on the countryside. So
No pressure. You got this. I love that.
internet is hella slow where I am.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys check out both those videos. Both of them were very impactful to me personally, and I know obviously they're impactful to Lefty. Check them out. See what good examples of authenticity are, because when we put roadblocks in front of us and our audience, we are only letting them sit in pain. You have the solution. You have an obligation to get it out to the world in whatever way you can. I don't care if it's an email campaign. I don't care if it's a blog, a vlog, a podcast, interview show, or a podcast like this, or content you put out, short form, long form, whatever form. I don't care. But if you're not putting out to the world that you can solve their problem, take their pain away, or bring them towards something that they want, you're doing them a disservice. So I encourage you to get out there and be authentically you, because you will be surprised at the droves of people that want to work with you because it's you.
And not everything has a monetary ROI. Like I think people lack authenticity because they feel like they have to put a monetary ROI on everything that they do. So think of ROI in many different ways. Like, oh, my return on investment for this exact video, I wanted to touch hearts. I wanted to show people how I felt. I don't care if it brings me business. I don't care if YouTube pays me a good amount of money for the video. I don't care. My return on investment is touching hearts, and I got more than enough feedback, and that was my ROI. Like, not everything has to be monetary when you're thinking ROI, and when you can put the monetary aside, you're gonna start making better content, and you're gonna start making more real content, and I think that's what everybody's audience wants to see. That's the secret sauce. I think, I don't know, that's the secret sauce.
I love it. I think we'll close out on that. That's powerful stuff, man. So from us here at Friday Night Live, we really appreciate you as always. Time is the only thing you can't get back, and it's not replenished. So we appreciate that you spent it here with us today. Go check out those videos and get out there and be authentic. Lefty.
I mean, I feel like I said a lot today. I don't know how to end it off, but yeah, we love you all. Thank you very much. Again, it is something that we can't get back. That's time. Nothing is guaranteed. So, be authentic, and whether it's with me or somebody else that you love and trust, go get your legacy filmed.
I love it. All right. And on that note, we are out. Bye, guys.